Hi, I am going to talk to you briefly about the capstone proposal. This particular assignment is designed to help you brainstorm in a very focused way and move past very general ideas into more specific ideas about your capstone essay. This is exploratory writing, and I am going to ask you, I want to just draw your attention here to the fact that I want 4 separate paragraphs for this, and I'm telling you in each paragraph what I want you to do. For 3 of them, I actually have included a sample of what that paragraph could look like, given, I'm using a sample topic. So in the first paragraph, you want to describe the topic. You need to do this. The reader may not be familiar with your topic. You may want to write about a movie, and you cannot assume that the reader has seen that movie. So you want to give some, give an overall brief summary. And so I've got an example here. I'm planning to write about the television series Glee, a show about a high school glee choir. The show focuses on the characters' struggles as teenagers in a fictional Midwestern high school. It highlights here teens' struggles with identity, authenticity, and acceptance. And then I go on to say something about the stereotypes that I'm interested in. Okay. In the second paragraph, I want you to describe your thesis searching question or questions. It can be really healthy and good at this point to have a lot of questions. What you may learn as you think more and write more, you may learn that some of your questions are better questions for any number of reasons. So it can be good to get a lot of questions out right now. You certainly can, in your draft, in the drafting stage, you will certainly focus those to a specific thesis searching question. Now, I want to remind you that Hacker has a lot of good information about writing a thesis searching question. Couple of, it helps to remember you don't want a yes or no question, right? You want something to be more open than that. So what are you wondering? What are your concerns? Now, you also, besides it not being yes or no, try to get questions that push you past an obvious. Okay, so for instance, is it good for preschool children to see shows in which the children call the adults stupid and refuse to obey them? It's not, you're not going to get a lot of debate about that. I can't imagine you're going to have people saying, yes, that's a really good thing. We should train kids to be, or maybe more clearly to people, is it good to show, have shows in which children bully each other, right? Nobody's going to say, yes, this is a really good thing. So try to think about the things that are beyond the obvious, okay? So an example, I'm curious about the messages sent in the television series House of Cards. Does the show reflect an unhealthy cynicism about political figures, especially in the character of Frank Underwood? And then another good thing to think about sometimes, if you can manage it, sometimes the best way to come up with messages in your show is to do some comparison, right? So I'm thinking here about a show I'm familiar with from the past, a show called The West Wing, where the president was a very sympathetic character. We rooted for him. Frank Underwood, we basically aren't if we root for him, we're not sure we're supposed to be rooting for him. So I'm asking, does he represent an anti-hero? In what way is he an anti-hero? Because again, does he represent an anti-hero? I could say yes or no. So I got to keep going. In what way is he an anti-hero or a villain? Okay. And I've already said you can focus your questions as you write your draft. Now in the third paragraph, you're going to begin to come up with a response to that thesis searching question. This is, the response to the question is your thesis. And at this point, what you want is a tentative or what's called a working thesis. You know, the best thing that I could teach you with this project is how to stick with the thesis long enough so that it moves from a tentative thesis to a fully formed, effective thesis statement. Okay, so here, my tentative I believe that the television series House of Cards reflects deep American cynicism about political power, sends a message that political power is achieved by murder, graft, and that no one in political office is immune or innocent. The show's main characters are ruthless beyond all imagining and make today's politics seem innocent by comparison. And then I go on again to kind of compare it to something else. It can really be helpful when you're looking at your topic to think about other possibilities and what makes your topic then distinctive. In the last paragraph, you need to be thinking about the significance of the topic, why this matters. This is the sort of so what, and what's at stake if the issue is poorly understood. Okay, what's at stake? Would it perpetuate a dangerous stereotype? And of course, you would define that stereotype, what it is, not just say it, you know, a bad stereotype. No, what is that stereotype? One thing to consider here is who is served well, or who benefits from the messages, and who is included in those messages, who's excluded from those messages. Does the world of the film exclude certain possibilities? What are those? Those are some things to consider. And think about the consequences of accepting the messages that the film, television show, maybe video game, whatever, presents. Okay, so this is, I just want to say, the more time you take with this document, and this document is not an early draft. This is a formal exercise in bringing out a thesis, developing toward a thesis. You will open up a new document for your draft, so don't just start writing the essay. Follow the instructions here for these 4 paragraphs, and it will benefit you in the long run. All right.